Ghost of Mistmoor by Leonard Wilson from Dungeon Magazine, issue 35. Artwork by Tim Brow. Leonard writes, "Really good haunted house adventures, are few and far between. I hope this is one of them. I only regret that Ravenloft box set hadn't yet been released when I started writing Mistmoor. Any DM with access to this set who doesn't at least borrow its system of fear and horror checks will be selling this adventure short." Leonard is the author of Through the Night, Dungeon issue 29, and has also written The Heartblade, an adventure and romance for Chaosium's Pendragon game. The Ghost of Mistmoor is an AD&D adventure designed for 3 to 5 characters of 3rd to 6th level, about 18 total levels. This module works best with a well-rounded party of good aligned characters, and the inclusion of at least one priest is essential. There should also be at least one male human, elf, or half-elf in the party. For the player characters, 2 weeks of scouring the heath has convinced you that the rumours of a young black dragon lairing in the area are just that, rumours. It's a shame. If its horde had been a fraction of what it was said to be. The rain that has been a constant companion in this dismal land has slowed to a half-hearted drizzle. Weary and muddled, desiring nothing so much as a long, hot bath, you arrive at the lonely village of Mistmoor, the closest thing to civilization for some days' travel, just as the sun takes on the first red tinge of dusk. The town is all but silent, its single street empty. The only reassurance you have that the village hasn't been deserted is the warm light spilling from the windows of the inn and the faint chatter that accompanies it. As you approach the inn, the door swings open. A tall, dusky warrior steps out and strides off purposefully towards the stable. The inn door starts to swing closed, then suddenly slams back open as a smaller, well-dressed young man rushes out after the first. "Giles, you can't do this," he shouts, in a state somewhere between rage and hysteria. The other man turns slowly back, fixes him with a stony glare. "I'm only the messenger, Lord Blaine. You'll have to take it up with the Duke." "I never asked for take it up with the Duke. It's about his daughter, isn't it? She never told me who she was. I swear it's not my..." The warrior turns his back and strides on towards the stables, ignoring the young man who runs after him, still babbling hysterically. For the dungeon master, Giles, an unremarkable first-level fighter, is only a messenger, as he claims to be, and unless delayed by some perverse adventurer, will immediately mount his horse and disappear from the adventure altogether. The important character here is Lord Blaine. Blaine is a fighter too. With some chainmail and stuff like that. Blaine is a young nobleman who has recently inherited the title of Viscount. At the moment, however, it's not a title he covets, and until his current problems are solved, he won't even notice, much less care, if no one addresses him by it. Along with his title, Blaine inherited the wealth of his family. He also inherited its debts to the local Duke. The Duke has harboured a dislike for Blaine ever since he caught the young man philandering with his daughter. Being a strict believer in law, however, the Duke has waited for this very legal opportunity to ruin Blaine. He has demanded that all debts, the back taxes associated with the estate, be paid in full within the week. Blaine's inheritance, in theory, should cover his debts. The reality is another matter. 200 years ago, his was one of the most wealthy and influential families in the land. Then a tragedy struck that is still shrouded in mystery. One of the Viscount's daughters is said to have gone insane and bloodily murdered most of the family, then killed herself in remorse. Legend has it that the Viscount's wealth was, and still is, locked away in a secret vault somewhere in the ancestral manor, but he took the knowledge of exactly where it was and how to open the vault to his grave. The manor, haunted by the insane girl's ghost, was abandoned after the tragedy. The family had a new and somewhat more modest home built in town in succeeding generations. They sent several expeditions to the manor to try to rediscover the vault. None succeeded. Few even made it out alive.